Okay, look like we good. All right, Shalom, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. It's the brother Yatazaka, got the brother Yaquab up here with me, GMS Dallas. And the Lord gave us an opportunity to get it in. So, we wanted to get into a few scriptures, getting into the boys of Stubble. And we speaking in code. As you continue to watch this lesson, you will see who the boys of Stubble actually are. You know what I'm saying? You got anything before we get started, Doc? Let's go.
Okay, this is Ezekiel 35, verse 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Actually, it's like, my bad. Let me start at verse 1.
Yeah.
Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. You know, and Mount Seir was that dwelling place of the Edomites. You know, who, according to the scriptures, is the so-called white man.
That's right.
And it says, verse 3, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. You know, so the Most High is telling Mount Seir, in a nutshell, Esau as a whole nation, that he's gonna set his face against it. You know, so like it says here, verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
And that's happening now. You see, we go into the scriptures, we're able to go into the prophecies and tell them what their future is. You see, and they get offended by that. You see, but it is what it is, because the Lord say, if you don't tell them what I got in store for them, I'm gonna get you. You see, and they done already done enough to us for us to not want to die because of them. You know, so I'm not gonna put my neck on the line for an Idumean. Like, nah, why would I do that? I said the Lord already got his plan. You see, the Lord said the deceiver and the deceived are his. Go ahead.
Verse 5, it says, Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and in the time of their iniquity and end. You know, and that reminds me of Isaiah the 47th chapter, where it says that upon our people that has heavily laid the yoke. You know, because the Lord set you up for us to go into slavery and for you to, you know, be over us. But at the end of the day, you know, you still took it too far. You know, you did everything in your power to really take it to the next level that wasn't required. You know, so that's why the Most High is looking at you and saying, "Look, you did all this. You know, I set you up, and I had, you know, as that whooping stick, but you went, took it too far."
Right. I'll say Esau is his whooping stick, but Israel is his battle axe. A battle axe is gonna be the stick anytime. You know what I'm saying? You got it. Yeah, I was saying that hatred goes back to Cain and Abel, leading up to Jacob and Esau. You know, it was prophesied that Rebekah was gonna have twins in her womb, and it was gonna bring forth two separate nations. And you can look at the planet and be honest with yourself and see that the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, which are the Israelites, and you see the Idumeans, the Edomites, and you see the friction between those two nations. I mean, only if you're being honest, right? Go ahead.
Verse 6, Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, of the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Yeah, I'll say the energy that you put out there is going to come back to you. Get Revelation 13 real quick. Revelation 13, 9. The energy that you put out is going to come back, man. That's just the way the Lord set it up. You know, he said that he was going to punish Israel for going off. He used a certain nation to do it. And when that nation, it says that when you took the statutes and commandments into your mouth, therefore you held accountable for them, pursuant to Psalms chapter 50. But with Psalms chapter 50, when you took this Bible, you took the curses and all those things that come along with it. Because the scriptures talk about that cup representing slavery being passed to the Idumeans. You see, that cup that Israel was not supposed to drink, but drank of it, the Idumeans are going to have to deal with that cup. You see, and that's what the scriptures say. Why you think they rip so many pages out of it and try to say that don't mean that, this don't mean that? No. That's exactly what it means. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you know that you're not in control. I will say, well, if you're trying to dispute the words of this book and you in power, why is this book on the planet? And then you handed them out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? They leave a hotel. They leave a Bible in the hotel room, in the drawer. It's just Bibles everywhere, but you don't want nobody knowing this information. That's proof that you're not in control. Go ahead.
This is Revelations 13:9. If a man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
I'm saying now you got your Idumi instead of be like, okay, well, eventually we're going to take y'all back down. Y'all took us down. We took y'all down. It's just going to be a back and forth constantly. No. According to the book of Obadiah, it says that the Edomites are going to be done away with. They're going to be destroyed. You know? And they've done their lion's share of what they've been allowed to do. You know? The scriptures talk about how Esau is the only he can't go past what he was put here to do. When you look at all these movies and all these TV shows and they thousands of years in the future and still fighting, that's not going to be the case. No. You're going to clean up this mess you made, and then you're going to be done away with, according to what the prophecy says. You know? And I don't got to hate or be violent or do none of that to tell you what that says. Because that's another thing. White people, they love it. He's prejudiced. He's racist. He's hateful. He's this. You can be all those things without putting your finger on a single person. You can hate something without beating it up or shooting it. IST at the end of a word. That means something that you advocate for. Right? Racist. That means that you for your race. That don't mean if you see somebody that's of another race walk by that you're going to destroy them or you're going to beat them up. Or, no. That just means that you would prefer that your people be straight up. Or more well off than everybody else. Because whether you like it or not, it's always been a pecking order. You got it.
That was it on that.
Yeah.
This is back in Ezekiel 35, verse 7. It says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and thy hills and thy valleys and all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword."
Now keep in mind, this is a prophecy. The Lord is saying that he's going to do this. The Lord is saying that he's going to do this. And you got all these people trying to dispute it. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. This is Isaiah 55:11. It says, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing wherefore it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." So when the Lord is making all these prophecies and promises, saying what he's going to do to somebody, that's what I'm saying. When you go to Deuteronomy 15 on down, did not all those things happen to Israel? So he's saying he's going to do something to the Idumeans, to the Edomites. So he lying when it comes to them? Oh, no, absolutely not. I will say the scriptures can't be broken. The Most High don't lie. It says the sons of Jacob shall not be consumed, and it says that the sons of Esau shall be stubble. Let that sink in. Go ahead, bro.
This is verse 9. Verse 9. "I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and I will possess it, whereas the Lord was there." You know, so they was thinking that, look, I'm gonna make these nations, going into the northern and southern kingdom, I'm gonna make this nation, the nation of Israel, mine, and I'm gonna be their God. Because remember in Isaiah the 14th chapter, he said that I will be like the Most High, I will ascend unto heaven. So now, what is Esau trying to do now? He's trying to take control and put his mark on every single last person on this planet Earth, man. Especially on a nation of Israel with that mark. So that's how he's gonna exempt that or show that power to say, look, I'm God.
Mm-hmm. I'll say even when they did when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was I have become the destroyer of worlds. You see, that's his blessing. His blessing is the sword. His blessing is to destroy. You see, but the thing is, Esau and Jacob got the same blessing, except Esau got the sword and a temporary rulership, and Jacob's blessing is gonna last forever. You see, the fatness of the earth and all those different things. Both sons were promised that. You see, but one is going to be forever, and the other one is going to be temporary. It said, "By the sword thou shalt live." Go ahead.
And it says, verse 11, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known amongst them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, They are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus, while your mouth, thus with your mouth you have boasted against me, and multiplied your words against me."
And that's what the prophets are standing up telling them, sighing and crying, shaking the hand. You done. That's what I'm saying. You've run your course. You see, you got a couple more things left in your bag. You see, you got the World War III. You got World War III and the MOTB. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only two things that you holding on to. You see, and we see those. We see those coming from a mile away through the Spirit. Go ahead.
I got a precept. This is Isaiah 47. And 6, it says, "I was wroth with my people, I had polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand, and thou didst shew them no mercy upon the ancient, as thou very heavily laid the yoke. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. So thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it." So Esau was in that proud spirit, saying, thinking like, I'm not gonna receive no judgment, like like they ever going into, like Esau got in his mind that he's still gonna be fighting in outer space thousands of years from now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to conquer planet and all that stuff. But like the elder said, Esau is the Lord set bounds on Esau to where that he can't. He's not gonna get that far. The kingdom of heaven is going to be established on the planet Earth, and the nation of Israel is going to be ruling. That's why these words. That's why the Lord put these words in this book for us to know that there is a judgment coming for this man.
I got you. This is Job 14:5. It says, "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." Going into the self-proclaimed white man. You see? That's what I'm saying. No matter how far in the future they project, they still fighting.
Yeah.
Like, even Star Trek, Star Wars, you can't even get it together out of space. That's what I'm saying. Your blessing don't extend to outer space. You can only get so far out there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to the moon and going to Mars and all that, nigga. Your best bet is an underground bunker, some shit underwater. That's what I'm saying. The prophecy don't put you there. The prophecy don't put you in forever. The other nations is gonna be here forever, but just not Esau. Matter of fact, I'm off the pull Isaiah 14. Yeah, Isaiah 14. I'm gonna start at 20. Yeah, 21. This is Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities." You see, when Esau was given the fatness of the earth, this is what he did with it. You know what I'm saying? Now everything's running now. Global warming. We got to stop eating meat. We got to take these jabs. We got to do all this and do all that. No. A righteously run planet ain't gonna have to worry about none of that. You see? So what you've done with your rulership has put you in a position to be destroyed totally. Like it's saying you can't go past what the Lord said. Check this out. This is why. Verse 22, it says, "For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephews, saying the Lord. So he wiping out all the males. He wiping out all the males. You see? Also proof that the man carried the seed. You see? You can wipe out all the Edomite women, but if the men still exist, they can continue to reproduce. The Lord said he cutting off reproduction for y'all. You see? All right? It says, for I will rise up against them. Or verse 23, it says, I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. Going into that nuclear destruction, man. You see? So this is written. You got people that try to tell you their opinion and try to wiggle their way out of the prophecy. No. Just because you don't believe it, don't mean it ain't gonna happen. That's what I'm saying. If you lined up on the firing squad, they done tied you to the pole. They done they got you tied to the pole. They finna shoot you. Just because you close your eyes ain't gonna make them go away. They still finna shoot you, right? Because that's your sin. You have been sentenced to death. Closing your eyes ain't gonna change it. Crying ain't gonna change it. Lying ain't gonna change it. No, it's written. Go ahead, bro.
Let me jump down to verse 9 in Isaiah 47. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come unto thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. So that widowhood and the loss of children represent your destruction. You'd say, like, if you read up, it tells you, like, I'm not gonna, I shall be a lady forever. I'm not gonna know the loss of children and widowhood. Pretty much going into Esau, being in that proud spirit, to where he's like, oh man, ain't nobody, who gonna rise up against me?
Right.
Ain't nobody gonna touch me. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. We've got the greatest kingdom in the whole world right now.
Yeah, he's speaking like the Lord is actually with it. You know what I'm saying? I would say Jake would be able to speak like that once we come into our full glory and our full power, because all power and glory goes to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Esau doing all this saying it's just him. It's either not a God or I'm God. You know what I'm saying? And neither one of those are true. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me.
And that's what I'm saying. This whole beast system, the whole 666 system, when you get into the shy side stigma, it's you got they want to cross out the Messiah. They want to replace him with medicine and technology. And to prove that you agree with it, they want you to get that in your hand or in your head. You see, it's already been perfected in the hand. It's just not being forced. They working on putting it in your head, but they blowing up all kind of rats and monkeys, and you know what I'm saying? It's not successful yet. So they let you know that we still got some fighting to do. They got it for your hand, but it haven't been perfected in your head yet. You see? So that lets you know that you got some kind of time. But at the same time, we're looking at the news and we're seeing what's going on in the Middle East and all these other things that's prophesied. See, we're not just watching the news because it's something on TV. We're watching the news to see if it links up with the scriptures. And if it does, therefore, we got to report it. You see? And the report now is that the self-proclaimed white man is losing his power slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? You got something? Where you at?
Isaiah 47?
Yeah. Pull that. I'm going to get Joe.
Okay, this is verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So when that time comes, you're going to have the Lord's judgment surrounding you from all sides. There's not going to be no escaping it. Right now, the Lord letting you do what you got to do according to His will. But when that time comes to where it's time for your destruction, there's no way out of it.
That's right. I got you. This is Job chapter 20, verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You see, going into the self-proclaimed white man, nearly completing his plans. You see, nearly completing his agenda. I would say it's going to be looking like it's in his favor, but it's not going to be easy as it used to be. You remember back in the day where a self-proclaimed white man could just use a couple big words and Jake would shrink, or they could diffuse the situation with their words and their lies. Now that's not happening. You see? And we living in the portion of prophecy to where the men of the Lord are going to be able to see that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, get Revelation 3. Yeah, Revelation 3 and get like 18. Where it talk about the eye salve.
Oh yeah, this is Revelation 3:18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
Yep, and that eye salve is what makes us say that eye salve is spiritual. You see, people's spiritual eyes are closed. Our spiritual eyes are open. That's why we can see these things come into pass, basing it on the scriptures. You see, but when you go up to that, when you jump up in that verse around 15, it talks about the Lord spewing you out of His mouth for being lukewarm. So when you do come into this thing, you either need to be on fire or don't even bother with it at all. You see, and once you prove that you're on fire, the Lord will give you the eye salve to be able to see, to fulfill His will, not ours. You know what I'm saying? Us being able to go into these scriptures and break down these prophecies and know what's coming is not of us. But the Lord said that He was going to pour His Spirit out on all flesh. So whether it's us, you know what I'm saying? You got these, you got people that's not Israelites that's telling the truth about what's going on. You got it.
I think that was it on that.
All right. I'm back at Job. All right. It says, in the fullness of His sufficiency, He shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of His wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him. Talking about World War III, the thermonuclear missiles. Get Isaiah 9 and 5 real quick. Yeah, get Isaiah 9 and 5 real quick. Because it talks about this war being fought with fire, fuel and fire. You see? Then you go into Isaiah where it talks about the smith that bloweth the coals. You see, you got to be able to put these scriptures together for it to make sense. You can say, yeah, y'all took us down, and we're going to take y'all down. It ain't no scripture that say that. It say once you're down, you're going to stay down. You know what I'm saying? And that's what boosts our faith. That's what boosts our hope. You see, because y'all got to go. Y'all got to go, man. You know what I'm saying? They want to give a universal basic income to transsexuals. You know what I'm saying? If you want to change your sex, you ain't got to get no job. We got you. Like, and that's the thing. We've been saying that all week. The wicked are pushing for the end of the world just as hard as the righteous, because they won't stop. They have to keep going until the Lord puts the kibosh on their ass, man. And they are moving in that direction. You got it.
This is Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
That's what I'm saying. A war with burning and fuel of fire. That's talking about this last war. The last world war, man. You see, and what happened after the other two world wars? A regime change. After World War I, it changed things. After World War II, it changed things. After World War III, it's going to change things. You see? But it's going to be in the Israelites' favor this time. But we already understood that those things had to happen. You got it.
I think that was the point on that one.
Yeah, that was Isaiah. Yeah, that was it.
Okay, this is back in Ezekiel 35, verse 13. It says, "Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate."
That's what I'm saying. When the whole world rejoices, you're going to be made desolate. That's what I'm saying. It ain't just us. It ain't just Israel. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the nations got problems with you. It say that all the nations going to come up against you. Just like all the nations came up against Israel, all the nations going to come up against Edom. You see? Go ahead.
I got a precept. It says, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9, it says, "For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, Their arrows shall be as a mighty excrement, and none shall return in vain. So that goes into the heathen nations rising up against the nation of Esau, man. And you can read about that in Revelations the 18th chapter, because that's a prophecy that still ain't been fulfilled either.
Mm-hmm.
And like it says, they shall be, or the from thence they shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty excrement, none shall return. Going into those ICBMs, those intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. Those are them arrows that are going to be shot like an like a manner of expertise,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not gonna miss. Just imagine Esau. You've seen that on the map of all the satellites that Esau's got surrounding the whole planet Earth. And they're not there for no reason. Esau uses them, for like maps, to locate certain things for like longitude, latitude, all
Mm-hmm.
pretty much to triangulate on a specific area, with 100% accuracy. You know, so that's how he's got these missile guiding systems set up to where if it's gonna shoot something, it's gonna hit right where Esau wanted.
That's right.
So as well as with these other nations, man. So they all gonna shoot their missiles at America, man.
That's right. And it's prophesied that none of them gonna miss. Because you got all these nations that got nuclear capability, and then they got defense systems for it and all that. Look, the Lord's will is for destruction to come, man. Babylon gonna be destroyed. Certain other parts of the planet are gonna be destroyed. And then the people that made the mess gonna clean it up under the instructions of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai via the men of the Lord. Period. Point blank. Right now we got I got Ezekiel 25. Right at the top of the chapter, it says the judgment of Gentile nations. It starts with Ammon, gets into Moab, and then it gets into Edom. Right, verse 12. Ezekiel 25 and 12. It says, "Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will stretch my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God." You cannot get around that. Whether you believe you Edom or not, that's going to happen to somebody. You see? And it's going to play out on a large scale, man. This is huge for the world. Getting rid of Edom is for the world. Go ahead.
This is back in Jeremiah 50 and verse 10. It says, "In Chaldea shall be a spoil," and that Chaldea is also mentioned in Isaiah the 47th chapter that we read.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, "Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as a heifer of grass, and bellow as bulls." So through the nation of Israel, Esau has become fat. It was through the backs of blood and sweat of the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, that Esau became very, very wealthy, very powerful here in America. According to history. So like it says, "Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced." Also, like verse 12, "Your mother shall be sore confounded; she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land in the desert." And the mother's talking about Great Britain, because out of Great Britain, America was born. You had them cross over here to the Americas and then set up the 13 colonies and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, America's going to be totally wiped out, and these other nations are going to be taken down with it. They're not going to be completely destroyed because they still going to have to serve that slavery. But America as a nation is going to be completely burnt with fire.
That's right. And that's what's written. And the more that's what I'm saying. If they were really in control, they would have got rid of the book. They would have got rid of the whole book. You know what I'm saying? They used it. I would say they used it as a slave Bible. They used it to manipulate people. They did all these things, man. But if you just would have got rid of the book, it wouldn't even be an issue. You see? But that wasn't written for you to get rid of the scriptures. No, it said the scriptures was going to be put together for the elect, for that remnant. You got it.
Let me finish up that Ezekiel 35.
God.
This is 35 to 15. It says, "And thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate. So will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord."
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't talking like that to nobody but Edom and Israel. Edom and Israel are the only two nations that were given the fatness of the earth. You see? And we haven't even been given it yet. You see? Esau was given the fatness of the earth. King Solomon didn't rule the entire planet Earth. You see? When the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, you know what I'm saying? It started with Philip and what's the nigga name? What's Alexander? You know what I'm saying? When you go into the Apocrypha and they talk about how wickedness was multiplied in the earth during that time. That was the earth being given into the hands of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't handle it, went down the Dark Ages, then rose back up during the Renaissance. You see?
The whole history is in the scriptures, man.
Exactly.
You know, the deadly wound, and the beast being healed. You know what I'm saying? All that's all the history, man. Like that. Like if you read Daniel the 7th chapter, you read 2 verses. That's like hundreds of years worth of history.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so that's and it's crazy to think about like that, but that's why the Lord set it up like that. So like not everybody's gonna get it. Just who he allows.
That's right. I would say because everybody on the planet, damn near got a Bible. You know what I'm saying? You got people that don't believe in the Bible, period. But that's what I'm saying. They got access to it. You know what I'm saying? Say you got somebody out there that's an atheist and they get converted. It ain't gonna be no shortage of Bibles. Right. If somebody decides they don't want to deal with Buddha no more or any of these other religions, it's gonna be a Bible available for you if you want it. You see? So you made the Bible so easily accessible, but the Lord made it hard to understand. You know what I'm saying? And for the men that have been given the ability to understand it, it comes. It just comes. It makes sense when it's taught to you. You see? You got it.
That was it on that.
All right. You want to get Obadiah?
Yeah.
Yeah. We get Obadiah. Yeah. And there's some other precepts come now. But yeah, man. Yeah, these people. Oh, matter of fact, we got a comment board. Shalom, GMS desiring truth, the water for the precept and the participation. You know? All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 40:9. It says, "Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. Such things happen to all flesh, but man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners." You see? So, like, the sinners want the end of the world just as much as the righteous men do. You see? And it's coming to a head. It's coming to a head. You know? That famine of the word is nearer than we believe, man. You see? You got it.
This is Obadiah. Oh, you want my stuff?
You can start at the top.
This is Obadiah. The vision of Obadiah does say the Lord power concerning Edom.
This is a prophecy. As I'm saying, the prophecy. I would say what Obadiah was writing was the prophecy of the vision that the Lord gave him, which was the destruction of Edom. This has not happened yet. Y'all walking around too ugly and stanky and nasty and wicked for y'all to be gone. So we don't believe that, right? According to the scriptures, it's going to be a time when Esau is going to be done away with. The world ain't partying. It's war going on, right? All these missiles, all this anger, all this confusion. But Esau gone though? Nah, not according to the scriptures. He not. Go ahead.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. thou art greatly despised.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. And the reason why you greatly despise the small among the heathen, because all of them can see through you now. You see, you shook everybody's hand, you stabbed everybody in the back, but you think you got more weapons than everybody. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You can have all the weapons you want, but when everybody aimed at you, it's gonna look a little bit different. Because the scriptures even talk about your allies turning against you. You know, you got it.
It says, verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in thy clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in thine heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
That's what I'm saying. He really got it in his mind. He was like, look, I came from the bottom, you know? I came from the caves. I did this. I did that. I did this. I did that some more. I got this, right? That pride has been lifted up. But it's just like how in the real world, I will say in the carnal world, the FBI or CIA or whoever, they'll allow somebody to do something until they see fit. You know what I'm saying? You allowing drugs into the country. You allowing this. You allowing that. You see, niggas start selling drugs on the corner as a teenager. They let him go 15 years till he done stacked up millions of dollars, and then they bust it. You know what I'm saying? You know, every movie that we see do that. Go ahead.
Verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Yeah, as much as proud as you are, as high and mighty as you think you are, the Lord say he gonna bring you down. The Lord say he gonna bring you down. So me and Yaquad, you know what I'm saying? We're reading what the Lord said. Now, if we continue on in this mission, maybe we'll get that spiritual power that we're reading about in Ezekiel. Because the Lord talk about him putting his spirit on you, making our feet like hinds feet. You know what I'm saying? With all this technology and weaponry that Esau got, the prophecy say that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. So no matter what you got, no matter what kind of firepower, what is that then? You see? You remember that look on their faces in the X-Men movie when Magneto turned all the missiles around? He stopped all the missiles and then turned them around and made them do a U-turn and go back towards them dudes and they didn't know what to do. That's the type of power that the scriptures is talking about. You see? Go ahead.
Verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, are out there cut off, would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
That's what I said. The Lord ain't leaving nothing. I said the Lord ain't leaving nothing concerning Esau, man. You see? Even the land is going to be taken over. The people going to be gone and the land going to be taken, according to prophecy. Go ahead.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee upon to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, because see, the thing is, Esau will invite you into his house, give you a nice meal, and be plotting against you the whole time. Now, these other nations, they're like, yeah, we'll come to dinner, but we want to see what's in your house. Yeah, because they plotting too. You know what I'm saying? So now all that bad energy that Esau put out, he going to receive it back. Go ahead.
It says, verse 8, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
See, that's what I'm saying. The Lord is going to do this. That's why the prophets, you know what I'm saying, through the Spirit are able to say, no, that's false. That ain't according to the scriptures. No. Nope, that ain't it. We can identify these things now because it's actually about the word. The study and to show yourself approved and blessed is he that readeth. That applies to somebody. We believe that applies to us. You see? Because we don't shy away from questions when people ask us. We ask people questions and they'll just get to hurling accusations. When they ask us questions, we give them the answers. Now, they might not like it, but we gave you the answer according to the scripture. You got it?
It says, and verse 9, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mountain of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Right, Teman, going back to the Germans, you know what I'm saying? Which is where all these, the German scientists, you know what I'm saying, were a part of those Smiths that blew up the coals, man. The Lord put the spirit on that nation to build this weaponry, man. Why? Because he gave them the blessing. That's the sword. They media, they guns, they missiles, they lies, All of that is part of the sword. Go ahead.
Verse 10, it says, For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. See, there it goes again. It's like the hardest time. It mentions you being punished for touching the apple of the Lord's eye.
Mm-hmm.
Like it says here.
It said you shouldn't have even looked. I think if you keep on reading, it's going to say that. You say, thou shouldst not have looked on their calamity. But yet you done did too much. Go ahead.
Verse 11, it says, In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, the foreigners entered into his gates. Yeah,
they was helping the Babylonians gather us up and put us into captivity. You know what I'm saying? Bible says Babylonians ain't they brothers. You know? That's what I'm saying. It didn't say Esau and Ham was in the womb together fighting. No. I would say you like, he said he was going to kill Jacob, and that spirit never left him. Even down to the descendants. Go ahead.
And cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger.
That's what I'm saying. We on our way into captivity to a whole nother nation, and y'all gonna help them? That's what I'm saying. If you was gonna do all that, you shouldn't have even looked. You should have just went on about your business and act like you didn't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to pay for that. Go ahead.
Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
That's what I'm saying. You shouldest not have looked if you wasn't gonna help. You know what I'm saying? Read that last line again.
God, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
That's what I'm saying. Then you just gonna bust up in the mud. You see, just violation after violation after violation, man. Go ahead.
Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity.
That's what I'm saying. You should have looked and you shouldn't have touched. You looked and touched. Why? Because it was prophesied that you was going to look and touch and get judged for looking and touching. Read on.
Verse 14 says, Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape.
That's what I'm saying. You see all the stuff that you shouldn't have done that you did? Go ahead.
Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. Damn, so Esau was going out there saying, hey, they over here.
Yeah. If it's a remnant, they over there. Yeah, go ahead.
And then verse 16, verse 15, it says, For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
That's a prophecy, man. You see? So just like the Elder Monatazakba said, you do dirt, you get dirt. That's how it's going to happen every time, man. You see? Why do you think the Lord made us, why do you think the Lord promised to make Israel righteous forever? So we wouldn't put out that energy that'll get us destroyed. You see? Programming the law, statutes, and commandments in us, promised in Jeremiah and in Hebrews. I'll say the Lord is going to eliminate all of that. You see? So keep on thinking that you're going to be able to wiggle your way out or distort the prophecy and all that. No. It was prophesied that you're going to try and fail. Go ahead.
Got a quick precept going into that. This Revelations 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works.
That's what I'm saying. How you gonna pay back double on what they did? Because they did a whole lot of heinous stuff, but we're gonna be righteous. So think about meditating terror with a perfect mind. A mind that's only set to please Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So all that nasty stuff that they was doing, we're not gonna be doing all that. We can't do all that type of stuff. We wouldn't do all that type of stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's according to our laws, none of that stuff is doable. You see? So how do you double it? That's what I'm saying. By meditating with a perfect mind. It ain't gonna be nothing that we can do that's gonna be out of pocket. Because it's still gonna fulfill the will of the Heavenly Father. You see? Go ahead.
In the cup which she had filled to her double. So slavery is gonna be double more times worse than what we went through. under the captivity of Esau.
Gun. Yeah, because they talk about 400 and 500 years being in captivity and all that. If you double it, shit, you talk about at least 800. If it was 400 years, that's 800 years of slavery. If it was 500 years, that's 1,000 years worth of slavery. Either way, you're going to pay the tab and then you're going to be out of there. That's what the prophecy say. We don't got to put no exact number on the years, but that's what I'm saying. It's going to be double what you did. You know what you did. We'll double it. Minus the nasty. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is back in Obadiah, verse 16. It says, "For as you have drunk upon mine holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions."
That's what I'm saying. Israel is going to be okay. The other nations is not. Esau going to be eliminated. The scriptures even tell you that after a amount of time, the heathen are going to be rejoicing at the rulership of the Israelites. When the righteous are authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. You see? And everybody mourning right now. You see? They keep on talking about all these extra variants and all that stuff. Get ready for some more. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 18, it says, "And the house of Jacob shall be fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it."
That's what I'm saying. The Lord gonna have a bonfire full of Edomites, man. He gonna get rid of them. You see, it's gonna be it's gonna be a great big sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be burnt, and it ain't gonna be nobody left of that nation. That's what the prophecy say. And hey, you know what? Don't nobody care how y'all feel, man. You need to be told. That's actually mercy. Because with that BS Christianity doctrine, that's what I'm saying. Hell will be full. Burn forever. I'm saying, with all the shit that you did, you should be able to burn forever. But the Lord didn't put that out there for you. He said, you're going to clean up your mess and you fire it. That's it. You're going to clean up this mess you made and you're fired. That's what's going to happen to the boys of Stubble. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 19, it says, "And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead."
Yeah, I'm saying the land of Edom is going to be taken. You know what I'm saying? By Israel. Why? Because it ain't going to be no Edomites. It ain't going to be no Edomites for that land. So what's going to happen to that land is going to be absorbed into Israel. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
"And the captivity of his host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath. And the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south."
So pretty much after Esau is done away with, we're going to start delegating to the other nations. You go over here. You go over here. Close your mouth. Zip that shit up. Tie your shoes. Whatever it is. Go ahead.
"And Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau."
I'll say saviors. Saviors. That's plural. You see? I'm telling you, man. I'll say the Lord and his elect, those men, that 12,000 from each tribe, it's gonna be a sight to see. It's gonna be a sight to see, man. Go ahead.
It says, verse 21, "And Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's."
And the kingdom shall be the Lord's, man. You see? So the kingdoms being the Lord's don't involve Esau. You know what I'm saying? He gonna clean up his mess, and then he's fired. Period, point blank. You see? And then we can start forever. You know? You got something else?
Yeah. I got Luke 1 and 69. It said, "And had raised up an horn of salvation for us, which is Yahushua, in the house of his servant David, as he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember this holy covenant, the oath which he sware of our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us that we being delivered out of the hands of our enemies might serve him with fear and holiness and righteousness before him in all days of our life. So at the end of the day, the nation of Israel is going to be established through that horn of salvation being Yahushua. And the house of David is going to rise, it's rising up right now. That spiritual house of David is being built right now.
That's right.
And then the kingdom's going to be established. Esau's going to be put, he's going to be put in his place, and then he's going to be put out of, he's going to be burnt up.
He's going to be shaped up and shipped out. You got any other precepts?
No, that was pretty much all.
All right, come. Hey, I don't have no more either. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'll say the scriptures say what they say, and the truth of the scriptures is in the earth. You know what I'm saying? Those with ears to hear and eyes to see, they gonna hear and they gonna see. Everybody else gonna get whatever judgment is written for them and they walk. So having said that, man, it's time to tighten up, man. It's been time to tighten up. The Lord is gonna purge the BS out of every single one of us before this thing goes down, man. You see? So keep that in mind, man. Let that sink in, man. That's what I say. The threats of mere mortals don't hold a candle to the promises of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So with that, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim teaching about the mind wide mop. That's the sincerity and truth. Shalom.